Whew. By Tiamat's tits, Gator, you scared the crap out of me.
Kobold, there's a spooky UA out.
Oh, and it's pretty big too. Awesome. Welcome to Bag Tactics, where we twist your nipples.
Yeah, and it does AoE damage.
We're just gonna start. New Artificer subclass, Reanimator. I love the flavor text with the Frankenstein monster. Let's see if we can create a power gamer. That is a very rough spell list for an Artificer. It does pick up a level 9, but this is very sour to the eyes. Let's hope the features are good.
Oh, look at that, guys. You can revive people with a cantrip.
You can twist their nipples from 15 feet away and they'll be completely fine. Seriously though, you can make an argument that this part here is just flavor text. Either way, this really shouldn't be there. It's a very easy fix. They just need to remove reviving it and then replace it with something else or whatever. This also does AoE damage from the creature that's a 10-foot emanation, which can also hurt you, by the way, if you're in the emanation. Also keep the emanation rules in mind. I'll put it on the screen. If you're gonna twist some nipples, I recommend doing it from a distance. Spare the dying range scales. Eventually you'll get 120-foot range. This feature gave me a good laugh the first time I read it. I should have recorded it. The feature is okay. The other third level feature is the Frankenstein monster. It functions kinda like what you expect with the Steel Defender, but it's not as good because the Steel Defender is a great mount. It has better attacks and survivability. But that's not really the point of this pet. It explodes in a 10-foot emanation that does 2d6 damage. I think the damage there needs to be boosted, but I do like the idea there. And just from like a pure mechanical perspective, I'm not saying you should do this, by the way. I don't recommend it, but casting Witch Bolt on it is an entertaining thought, because it heals the monster, and that reminds me of the medic from Team Fortress 2, which would actually be a sick Artificer subclass. I really want that to happen. That sounds so fun. I hope they see this video. Also, by the way, the nipple twist will also heal the monster, so keep that in mind. It enjoys a good twist. Level 5, Strange Modifications. Your monster gets better. You can cast spells as though you were in its space, but must use your own senses. Once per turn with Artificer spells from the Evocation or Necromancy schools that deal damage, you can add your Intelligence mod to the damage roll if your monster is within 120 feet of you. And lastly, your monster can swing twice, which is whatever, because they do 1d4 plus 2 plus int mod. This feature is pretty bad. This Artificer isn't great. I think Alchemist is better now. Level 9, your buddy gets even better, and it's a lot of stuff. You can make it large, and their attacks now push creatures 10 feet away. The explosion will be slightly larger now, and you can add your int mod to the explosion damage. Also, when somebody makes an attack roll against it within 10 feet, then they will take acid damage equal to your int mod. Your buddy also gets 45 speed, climb and swim speed equal to your speed, and it has a constant 10-foot emanation now, where at the start of the creature's turn, you can force them to roll a wisdom save against frightened, and that frightened condition lasts until the start of its next turn. This could be really funny with parties that cast a lot of AoEs like Spike Growth, Sickening Radiance, Hunger of Adar, stuff like that. Because you'll just send the monster in and just be annoying, pushing the enemies further into the AoE and exploding. It would be funny if the explosion also pushed the enemies and made them prone. I think that would be sick. Seriously though, majority of these features could also just be part of the 5th level feature. Now for the capstone, the explosion is still peanuts. I really want them to ramp up the damage, and that includes half damage. Revivify and raise dead cost is halved, whatever. Just hand me it for free. And with life transfer, you can drop your companion to 0 HP, which will cause them to explode, and you get HP back equal to your Artificer level. Life transfer can literally just be a 3rd level feature. I like the idea around this subclass, I really do, but it sucks. I want to jump to Hexblade because I'm a Xanathar's kobold. Hello, my old friend. Did you get a haircut? Quickly on the old Hexblade, it was a meme. Back in the Xanathar days, everyone took 2-level dips just to get armor proficiency, shield spell, and the usual agonizing and repelling blast. There was also the gishing aspect, but it was mainly those features. I did the exact same thing. I love Hexblade. Hexblade is great. It was one of the most front-loaded subclasses in the entire game for many years. But if you play this straight classed, it sucks. That's the funny meme right there. Let's see if they improved it, or maybe they created a new meme. New spells, they're always prepared. This is an amazing list. Conjure Barrage? Ooh, man. That's basically a safer fireball that's a cone that does force damage. Dispel Magic is handy. Steel Wind Strike is a gator spell that's quite respectable, especially when it's a short rest resource. I would cast this. Hell yeah, I'm memeing on the enemies. And even though Animate Objects was nerfed, it's really funny on this Warlock because it's really annoying to deal with. I really like this list. This is perfect memes. It's also nice to still see shield in here, but it's not really that handy on the Warlock. But you'll use it from time to time. And speaking of shield, medium are... What? It's gone! No! The meme is ruined. I want it back. Give me medium armor shield proficiency. I'm naked. Kobold, just dip for it. I guess. Let's move on to Hexblade's Curse. It got a new name. Hex casts a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. Regain on a long rest. That's a lot of ammunition, and it's from a separate pool. And these hexes come with an additional effect once per turn when you hit a creature. You can force a con save to remove the enemy's opportunity attack and half their speed for the turn. Force a wisdom save to make the creature take necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier if they attack someone else other than you. Or no save, give them disadvantage on the next save throw it makes before the start of your next turn. These two are really handy. It makes the spell actually interesting with a selection of options. I don't think I'll use Harrowing Blade that much. I do like this new Hex feature and having a bunch of ammunition, but things are gonna plummet downhill from here. Accursed Spectre is gone, it's now Lifestealer, and this feature also revolves around Hex. Spoilers, all the features from now on revolve around Hex. So if you're not casting Hex, you don't have a subclass. And it traps you where you have to concentrate on it. I think that is really, really bad. But anyways, when the creature dies, you get some HP, and it doesn't have to be your kill like Dark One's Blessing does. It can be from anybody. And once per turn, when you make an attack roll and miss, you can deal Charisma mod damage to the creature. The scaling for this feature is okay. 10th level Armor of Hexes, it more reliably reduces damage taken now. Significantly, I would say, and you can do this a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. Regain on a long rest. You still need to concentrate on Hex, which is super lame. Capstone, 3 of the following benefits benefit your Hex. You crit on a 19, you can Hex an additional creature within 30 feet, and they take 1d6 damage, and damage doesn't break your concentration. Very bad Capstone, it's barely a damage increase. And it's improving a first level spell. It's gonna be harder to convince you guys that Hex is a trap. Now, this Hexblade is technically better than the old version, yeah. I'm not really surprised that this is an improvement. But is this really a proper subclass when it's gated behind Hex? Sure, you can concentrate on Hex and then cast a Conjure Barrage or Synaptic Static or whatever it's called. And then there's Steel Wind Strike as well. But man, I really want to have my features when I'm concentrating on, I don't know, Hunger of Hadar. Armor of Hexes would be useful here. But no, my stupid Warlock patron is a Redditor who's obsessed with Hex. I really hope this is not the new Hexblade meme now. That would be a real nipple twister. Maybe that's why it's called the horror subclass. Your patron is a Redditor. But let's see if the magical girl subclass is even spookier. No Phantom Steed, that's a huge nerf. I know somebody who's going to be mad about that. But there's still good things in here like Phantasmal Force, and Death Ward with short rest resource is massive. Like hell yeah. And Anti-Life Shell is a great spell to concentrate on. It's an underrated spell. Form of Dread didn't change? That's right, the magical girl transformation still lives on. We love that. Woke and based. Grave Touched allows your spells and attacks to ignore resistance to necrotic damage, and once per turn you can change your spells that deal damage to necrotic while using your Form of Dread. Before you could roll an additional damage die, which is actually more useful, but I'm completely fine with this. This feature will be more handy in campaigns like Curse of Strahd. Next, Necrotic Husk no longer requires a reaction to use its secondary feature, and it restores a number of hit points equal to 10 times your Charisma mod. It's also regained on a short rest rather than 1d4 long rests. It will still give you exhaustion every time you use it. It is a good feature. You're gonna do AoE and then get 50 HP. Not only are you really annoying with the short rest death wards, but you've also got this. Your DM is gonna hate you, I'm serious. Superior Dread, Capstone. This is a very nerfed version from what you got previously. Before you basically turned into a ghost where flying into objects was difficult terrain, and you got the resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. I want that Capstone back, it was super metal. The only feature I liked in this new version is the 10th level feature. You can make an argument why Phantom Steed needed to go, but I'm actually kind of neutral there. I love the spell though. Here we go, Ranger time, Hollow Warden. I really want a good Ranger. Let's see what we got here. Phantom Steed! Oh my god, that's amazing! That is really good on a Ranger. Dash around 200 feet and fire arrows. Theoretically, you can outrange and outkite a dragon. That's how amazing this is. Mongolian playstyle goes so hard with these guys, and you can combo it with plant growth. Oh, that is sick. Next, Wrathful Wild. Let's see how wild this is. Oh, you need to cast Hunter's Mark to get the following benefits. Uh-oh. Ancient Armor, AC equals your Wisdom mod. And Unnerving Aura. When an enemy starts its turn in your 10-foot emanation, you can force a Wisdom save. On a fail, it can either take an action or a bonus action on its turn. Not both. What does Hunter's Mark have to do with this weird magical girl transformation? Why can't this be like Form of Dread where I don't need to concentrate on it? I don't understand. And I just realized reading the flavor text, you literally turn into Asmongold. That is scary. Anyways, the feature is actually amazing. Like, oh my god. This will usually be a +3 AC at best, which is the real highlight here. And yeah, you can easily stack this up with the shield spell. That's +8 AC. That's a massive increase. This is better than Shield of Faith, which is really how you should look at this. Or better, a combination of Hunter's Mark and Shield of Faith. As for the emanation, it's awkward when most enemies don't really have a bonus action feature, especially at these levels. And they have to start their turn in the emanation for them to make the save. Hunter's Mark lasts for an hour, so I can easily just walk around with +3 AC for an hour. And I have so much Hunter's Mark resources, and oh my god, like, I can basically make this last the entire adventuring day and just walk willy-nilly. And that works out for me because I don't actually care about my Hunter's Mark resources. This is a way longer lasting Shield of Faith. Next, Hungering Might. Bonus to con saves equal to your Wisdom mod. That is godsend on a Ranger, like holy shit. And once per turn when you hit a creature while transformed, you gain HP equal to 1d10 plus Wisdom mod if you're bloodied. This works at range. Thank Tiamat, the con save isn't tied to Hunter's Mark. That would have really sucked. So this is gonna help with our spike growth, entangle, conjure animals, and stuff like that. Very good. I'm very happy. Ranger is incredibly feat starved, so securing your concentration is super hard with a Ranger. So this is godsend for them. At endgame, once you get all the feats you needed, I do recommend securing your concentration further. This Ranger is amazing, and then at level 9 you get that Phantom Steed. Ooh, boy. Woo! I am convinced. I'm really happy with this. But I gotta be super toxic because I'm lawful evil. Hungering Might is just adding +3 to your concentration, really. And it's a level 7 feature, which is super late. But I still want it. Like, gimme, gimme, gimme. This is so good. Anyways, level 11. Rotten Violence. I like the sound of that. Your emanation now deals damage on a failed save equal to your Ranger level. And when you hit a creature with your attack while in your form, you can activate the sap or slow property in addition to a different mastery. The emanation sucks because it's not half damage and they have to start their turn in it. We're talking about a 5.5 DPR here when you get it, assuming 16 wisdom. But credit is due, this is a first level spell slot, or should I say from a separate pool of resources. So that's quite significant. Now for Capstone, 2 following features again. Immunity to exhaustion. Oh boy. You're gonna be crafting scrolls and magic items all night long, baby. This is an amazing Capstone. You're a PC gamer. Wait, you're literally Asmongold! What the heck? Why? As for the other feature you get, again, tied to that transformation feature, when you drop to 0 HP, you can expend a 4th level slot or higher to get 5 times your slot level in HP, okay? Someone at Wizards of the Coast saw that gross Asmongold video where he turns into that freaking demon. Defensively, this is the best ranger ever with Gloomstalker. It's got that Phantom Steed and amazing AC. And that capstone is huge for endgame when you have so much money to spend on. Your knights become downtime, which is amazing. You can get so much things done, especially in crafting. Oh boy. I am subscribing to Asmongold. What an insane concept they came up with. Oh my god. Jeremy sure as hell did not write this. Next, Gay Cleric. Spellless is worse, but then again, it was never good. The only thing I cared about was the anti-life shell. Next, Circle of Mortality. You auto-heal max with a spell, or a channel divinity if a creature has 0 HP. And once per turn, when you cast a spell or make an attack to a bloodied creature, that creature takes extra 1d4 damage. It's okay, it's better than the old grave, but that's very easy to beat. And it's gonna be really easy to figure out when the creatures are bloodied in some games. Some DMs go really out of their way to really hide it. And the damage feature is gonna really stack up with Spirit Guardians and other combos. Also, keep in mind that this spell doesn't have to be a cleric spell. As for Return to Life, if you upcast Cure Wounds, for example, at 2nd level, that's 32 plus Wisdom mod and heals. You can potentially out-heal enemy damage, but if the player has bad AC and is prone, or there's lots of enemies, or they have many attacks, that heal you did is gonna go away really fast. So it's meh. Channel Divinity, bonus action, curse one creature within 30 feet. Until the start of your next turn, creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and saves. When you or your ally you can see hit the cursed target with an attack roll, you can end the curse early and do 1d8 plus cleric level damage to the creature. This is a very easy to use Channel Divinity with a bonus action, and it's really cool that it gives disadvantage to saving throws. I love this feature. I see myself blowing everything on this. Level 6, when you or a bloodied creature within 30 feet of yourself is hit with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to half the damage a number of times equal to your wisdom mod. Long rest feature. The other version had to do with making crits normal instead. This is definitely more handy. Capstone, Divine Reaper. That is a really cool name. Boosts 5th level necromancer spells or lower, and grave spells that targets one creature in a way where you can expend a use of your channel divinity to target a second creature within the spell range. The other benefit you get is when an enemy dies within 60 feet of you, you can heal yourself or someone else with hit points equal to 3 times your cleric level, once per short rest. Necromancer single target spells are pretty bad, and this feature is not going to help it very much. You could cast Contagion or Inflict Wounds from time to time, I guess. But, this is not capstone level of power. And I feel like I'm not giving you good advice with these spells. The other benefit is more promising. You give someone easy 51 HP. It's a weaker heal spell, sure, but this is a short rest resource, so it's incredibly easy to get back. I definitely view this feature as a 5th level spell. I really like it. I feel like the Grave Cleric really just got up for a split second and turned his pillow. Feature-wise, this is better, but this subclass is not for me. Phantom Rogue. Oh boy. Wails from the Grave now links its number of uses to the Rogue's dexterity modifier. It's no longer proficiency times. Tokens of the Departed now provide soul trinkets whenever you finish a long rest, allowing more reliable usage of the feature's benefits. You have less of them though. Voice of the Dead, new feature. Speak with dead once per short rest. It's a good utility, but 9 levels is not worth it. Death's Friend now lets you gain a soul trinket when you roll initiative and have no soul trinkets. I will continue to treat this rogue as a phantom. Shadow Sorcerer Money Gang. We love casting spells. It now has a spell list. Yay! Hunger of Hadar and Pass Without Trace are great. And yay! My eyes are boosted. I get 10-foot blind vision and I don't need to use sorcery points even when looking through my darkness spells. My darkness-like spells, my bad. Oh, and look at that. Finally, I don't need to pay a 300 gold tax to cast this feature. And I get a free cast once per per long rest. And I can modify it to not require concentration, which will make the spell only last 1 minute. Wow, a Tasha summon that I'll actually use. Good. This is something I could just throw out there and maybe potentially paralyze someone. It's not a good spell, but the feature is good for a regular no stress encounter. Umbral form now gives you 1 free use of the form per long rest. Strength of the Grave has been improved and moved to the benefits from this form. Strength of the Grave is another one of those when you reach 0 HP you come back features. I'm getting really sick of reading them at this point. You can still spend 6 sorcery points to activate the form again, by the way. It's a good capstone. Old Shadow Sorcerer was really rough, so it's nice to see they fixed this up. It can actually use its eyes without burning everything. Last one, Bard. I remember the subclass, but I don't remember their features. I only read it once. That was on release of Van Richten. Guiding Whispers and Spiritual Focus are now combined into a single feature, Channeler. This new feature also grants you proficiency in playing cards. It's flavor. Now let's look at the big thing. Spirits from Beyond. It's been reworked to improve its action economy and produce more immediate effects. The options on the features table has been revised as well. I know people really like these little random features. Gator goes crazy for them, but they make me very nervous. It's a gamble with both positives and negatives. The negatives aren't really that bad, but I am clearly not the target audience here. The 6th level feature here is sick. You get Spirit Guardians, a free cast of Spirit Guardians that you regain on a long rest, and you can modify the spell to give you and your friends half cover while in the emanation. Regain on a short rest. This can be a trap spell if you don't get medium armor and shield proficiency from somewhere. Be warned. But once you cover your defenses, oh boy, cast this, dodge, and reflavor the dodge to Thriller Dance. Amazing feature. That was the UA. It was a real nipple twister, huh? My main complaint is really the Hex and the Hunter's Mark features. They leave such a bad taste in my mouth. The thing is, and I'm gonna talk about this in like a very regular player view, I want to cast different things and not be stuck with something I've cast for like 7 months already in the campaign. And I would like my features to encourage that. Having features tied to spells is fine in my book, but it can't be the same spell over and over and over again, especially when it has concentration. That completely shuts you out of a lot of things. And when the features are just upgrading your 1st level spell, I think that's really boring progression. I think they can totally grab a bad 3rd level spell that's mechanically interesting and turn it really good. They've figured out how to do it with Hex and Hunter's Mark. Do that to the interesting spells. Anyways, end the video. Check out the dice on Kickstarter! We need followers! Thank you for watching. Bye bye!